Um, Hi, welcome to this mock interview session. Today we have Aditya who will be interviewing Gaurav. So over to you, Aditya, now.
Hey, hi. Excuse me. Sorry, I have some throat problem. Hey, hi, Gaurav. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Sure. Looks like we are paired together for today's mock interview session. So, let's start begin the actual session, right? So,
Yeah, sure.
which is your favorite programming language?
I come from a non-computer science background. I actually study engineering physics and a double major in electrical engineering. So that's why these days, because of the advances in ML and data science, I've shifted to Python. So I'm
Okay,
just a bit more comfortable in Python, but I know C and C++ as well. I mean, that's how I started. But these days I've been doing Python.
okay, sure. What's your comfort level with Python on like scale of
I
1 to
mean,
10 being highest?
I'd rate at least 8, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, sounds good. Mostly with then you're familiar mostly with all the different mechanisms in Python like async and also you can handle it out, right?
Yeah, most of them, but as far as object-oriented programming and all is concerned, so when I had to do a work around it in my internship and all, I use C sharp and all. I don't
Oh,
use Python much for like some building some big application or something. I use only for data science ML stuff and CP because of the like small tricks and all that I am comfortable with in Python. But for
okay,
actual development and all, I prefer the other languages.
okay, sure, sounds good, sounds good. Assuming that we'll be going with Python, right? So here is
Yeah.
what I want to the problem statement is. So I'll give you a number. It's usually a positive integer. So don't worry about being negative or less than zero. It's a valid number.
Okay.
It's a valid
Okay.
number. And what you need to generate is you need to generate the squares of those number, right? And the way how you need to generate them and provide an output is in some sort of like a two-dimensional array, in a two-dimensional matrix, right? So let me give an
Okay.
example. Let me know if you're able to see my. I think I can I write. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's say this is the final output, right? For n is equal to
Okay.
3. So n is equal to
Okay.
3, the square is 9, right? So if you look at it, I'm kind of like having the output displayed in this two-dimensional array, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at the order, it's in some sort of like a spiral way. So here is
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
6, 7.
7,
Yeah.
8, and 9.
Yeah.
Which one?
Hello.
So yeah, Gaurav, you're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm able to hear. Yeah.
so if you look at it, I told you, you mentioned that you are going with Python, right? So this is a
Yes.
list. This is one more list, and
Yeah.
this is a third list. So
Yeah.
there will be like list of lists. That's definitely defines the two-dimensional array, and the output that I'm looking at it is in the spiral order.
Spiral order. Okay.
So this is the how do you approach this problem?
Okay. Okay. The input will always be a positive integer, and if let's call it n, and so I have to print an n cross n dimensional matrix.
Correct. It's a square matrix. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. As we can see, first it's serially, then basically we are coming down left, then top. But when we go to top, we see that one is already printed, so we'll have to have a termination. Like let's say we start from 0 comma 0 here, and then we
Hmm.
go to 0 comma 2,
Hmm.
then from 0 comma 2 we go to 2 comma 2, then
Correct.
from 2 comma 2 we go to 2 comma 0, and then when we go above we need to somehow track that we have already printed 0 comma 0, so we'll just need to go to 1 comma 2 and then again start the procedure.
Sure, sounds good.
uh,
Correct. So, like,
yeah,
if,
okay.
if with this approach we go, what would be the time complexity?
Well, the time complexity will be, since essentially, irrespective of the order, we are we are printing all the elements of the n square, n cross n matrix. The time complexity will be O of n square, because
Okay,
each vertex is being only each point coordinate is being visited only once if we keep a proper track.
correct, correct. Yeah, sure. So, can we get started on this? With this?
Uh, uh, yeah, so how do we proceed? Like, should I start writing down the code?
Yeah, just assume that you need to just write an function for it. So, in Python way, let me give you the function definition, right?
Okay, okay.
So, this would be your function definition. I'll be just providing an integer n, and you need to just write a function so that you can print this in a spiral way.
Okay, okay, cool.
Either you can return it as some sort of like a list, that would be better. So if you have
Uh,
something let me also make sure that let's say that you have a list here, right? So this would be it would be essentially a list of list, correct?
yeah,
And then in my main, I'd essentially be calling your function, right? uh, and spiral, say n equal to 3 for instance, right? And then we will
yeah.
call this like, yeah.
Mm, yeah,
But you need to fill out only the sprint spiral.
yeah. Okay, that's good. So should I start?
Yeah, sure, sure. Just walk me through like how you're doing it out. You mentioned to me.
Yeah.
So you can continue.
Okay, so a general question. So in interviews, when you mean I walk you through, so should I start directly writing down the code, or just tell you how I'm going to proceed and then start writing down the code,
So you
or
explain to me how
while
you
writing down
proceed.
the code? Okay,
So
okay.
whatever is
So while
comfortable.
writing down the code, okay. So I'll just do so first I'll initialize an all zero matrix.
Okay.
So for I in range and and so this will be the internal list, and I'll just append the temp here. So
Hmm.
just for verification, if we print, yeah, that's all.
I think there's some indentation problem with that function.
I think, yeah, yeah.
I think on line 16. Let me do that. Okay, try now.
Okay. Yeah. So
Mhm.
this is the 3 cross 3 matrix. So in one, we can follow the similar procedure what we discussed earlier and fill in these elements
Okay.
using that. So let's say I call it left equals 0, or yeah, let's say x equals 0, y equals 0. Then for the first one, we'll have to go towards the right. That means y will remain constant. So while
So everything will happen in for loop.
uh okay, yeah, my bad. This indentations, yeah. Yeah. So can I use a for loop here?
Before you proceed, what are these x and y?
So x and y are the coordinates of the matrix that I want to replace. So I'll be changing the x and y, and like the result of x comma y, I'll be changing it to the required number.
Okay. Is it required that you want that in the first for loop?
Oh, my bad. I'm really sorry. Yeah,
No worries.
yeah, yes. So I can have a, so I need four elements to track the maximum allowed, like till where I'm allowed to go. So let's right. Yeah,
So let's
I'll
start with
need four.
the
Yeah.
simple first. First, let's start with the simple one. So you told that you're traversing towards the left, right? So,
Yeah, towards the right. Yeah.
oh, sorry. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So one less than n result to x y. So I'll have a um, let's so count equals 1 is a variable which I'll be printing. So first I'll need to print 1, then I'll increment the count, then when I reach the next location I'll print 2, and so on.
Okay.
So count plus equals 1, then y plus equals 1. So after that, I'll be done printing 1, 2, and 3 on the first list, first sublist of the result. So I'll exit from the loop now. Then okay, so now while x less than n, count x plus equals 1. So now after doing this,
Mm-hmm.
so first I went towards the right. Now after the right part is filled, then I come down. So that's why I'm incrementing the x, and y will remain constant, which is at 2. So
Okay.
by this time I'll be having filled 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 towards the downside. So let's just print what we have done for. Okay. Mm,
So if you look at it, right, you are traversing towards the right side, correct? Now, are you checking if you have crossed outside of the boundary, right? Um, that is one more
okay.
thing. Because what if your x becomes, or in this case y, right? You are incrementing y.
Yeah. So while y is less than n, so n is 3, so it will work only for 0, 1, and 2.
Hmm. Then we are getting the array out of index function right here.
Yeah. So somehow it's. Mm, uh,
So,
no.
mm,
So okay, I think after coming out of the while loop, the y value has changed.
yeah, correct. So you need to change the y value, right?
Yeah, it has become 2 though. One sec.
So if you look at it, you are like
Yeah,
thinking
I
from,
got it. Yeah. So I'll just need to do y equals y minus 1.
yeah,
Yeah,
that is required.
yeah. Y minus equals 1. Now even this will work.
Even
And
x
after
should go.
coming out of this, yeah, x minus equals 1. Mm, So yeah, x is 0, y is 2. Now I'm incrementing x here.
Mhm.
So after this, x will become 3.
So
Why
you're
is it
you're
not going to?
you're trying print x, right? So x is towards the down, right? Like you're trying to traverse down, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I
Okay.
can have till 2, but uh,
Should it be less than or equal to 2, right? Because you want to have 3 there, so 3 rows, right? Essentially.
yeah, so that's why I put x less than n, that is x less than 3. So it will print 0, 1, 2, right?
So 0, 1, 2, then you're printing x. So I think you're having lot many print statements. So let's concentrate on one at a time. Correct?
Yeah. So I'll just do this by sorted. So 0,
So
2, 1, 2, and even 2, 2, I don't know why it's giving error.
let's see x is what you're doing here. X is less than 2. Okay, X is there, 0. Mhm.
It should go to. So I'm getting error for result 1 2. Uh,
So just a second.
yeah.
Okay, can try. So
Okay, I'll need to increment x,
so X is
x
the
plus equals. I'll need to increment x as well, right? Before, because I already printed 1, 2, and 3. Then I'll need to go on the first row, and y should be 2. So I'll have to start from 1 comma 2.
no, but it will
But
get you
here,
out of index, right? Yeah, it
yeah,
gave you the information right here.
yeah, uh,
So let's do one thing, right? For the first while loop, what you type is or printed is for right side, correct? Now, once you
yes,
traverse the right side, you should have some variable there, right? That will tell you that it has reached to the end, correct?
yeah, yeah.
So,
So I'll need to
you,
have four different variables which will keep track of the right, bottom, left, and top.
mhm. But do
For
you
now,
have
I've kept it as n, so I can have it top equals 0, right equals n minus 1, yeah, left bottom equals n minus 1, left equals 0. Yeah, I can just have it. Okay, yeah. So this thing is while y less than equals right, while x less than equals bottom. I think this should be okay, right?
Yeah, I think let's have only one print statement. I think we have like lot many. So
Yeah.
let's first concentrate on solving the problem, correct? Then we'll like
Yes.
put it
Yes.
out.
Yeah. So which print statement should I give? I'll just
So you can
x y.
hmm,
Uh, print. So yeah, this is correct. So our x should be at, we need to go to the first row because we have already filled up the top row. We'll need to increment our x before we enter the next loop, and then our y value should remain the same as what we had for the last one.
mhm. Okay.
So this, I think it's the way I have initialized the array. I'll just change it to 0 for I in array, and oh, I think it went in the for loop. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, we are on. Yeah, so this one is working now correctly. So after this, I should change my top limit. So once this while loop is completed, because the top row is already printed, so I'll
Mhm.
just change my top limit to top plus equals 1.
Okay.
Then I'll have to increment the y value y, I'll just put it in the top part as well. Yeah. So I'll have to change the y. Then I go to the bottom row. I don't need this print statement. Yeah. So while x less than bottom, I'll just assign it increment the count, increment x. So this. So yeah, I've decremented x, and then I'll put change the right limit to right minus equals 1. Now I'll have to go towards the left and
Okay.
keep the x constant. So I'll just do while y less than while y is greater than or equal to left.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just do result x is count plus equals 1, and I'll have to decrement the y, so y minus equals 1. So after that, I'll have to increment it by 1 because it will go out of bound. And
Okay.
I'll change the left limit. I'll increment the left limit by 1. Left
Mm-hmm.
plus equals 1. Yeah. Now the final part is we go to the top now while x is so now our x will be the last row. uh,
Okay.
yeah, I'll have to change this as well. So it printed towards the right, then I went to, yeah, bottom. Then I'll have to change the y here. So y minus equals 1, and
So
here
did this
I'll
X and Y refer to the left and right, correct? Right and bottom, because you
us
already have four variables there, right? Top, right, bottom, left.
yes.
Or you're just considering them as like boundaries, guard lines.
Boundaries, yeah, those are the boundaries till where I'm allowed. So once I print the top row of that, so in the next iteration, I shouldn't go to the same row, right? I'll have to
Mhm.
always decrement it by 1.
Okay.
So yeah, so now the bottom row is printed. So yeah, I'll just do uh, x minus equals 1 here. So while x is less than top,
Mhm.
less than equals top, equals 1, and x minus equals 1. This is sorry. mm, X, so it will go out of bound. That's why I'll just keep x plus equals 1, and so it went to the top. Then I just have to do y plus equals 1. So let's just print the result here. So all except the middle element, it should print.
I think you got like
Then 56. So yeah, so it has printed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, and so the middle row 8 and 9 are left.
yeah, 8 and 9. Again, you need to go towards the right side, right? So you already
Yeah, no, but even 8 is not printed, so that is the error. 8 should have been printed, right? Only the middle element should have been left. to print.
Correct.
Yeah, that is the error.
Yes.
So let's see. So we want it to be 1 comma 1, 1 comma 0.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is 1 comma 0.
So is it
Where
uh,
is it going? Oh, okay. Uh, so I'm changing x. It went to the negative side. That is okay. So I'm coming from the bottom to top. So it should be greater than top. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. So this part is printed now. The termination. So all this has to be done. If it's a 3 cross 3 matrix, it has to be done two times. Let's say if it's a 5 cross 5 matrix,
Mhm.
then it has to be done. One sec. So,
So
so
again, you
the
need not
elements are.
write traversing to the right side, right? Because we already have that.
Sorry.
So now you need to print 9, right? So printing 9 is like traversing to the right side, correct?
Yes, so we have this. So if I keep
Yeah.
all this in a for loop, so I think it will be sorted, right? So let's say if we have 3 cross 3 matrix, then I'll need to do it two times. If we have 5 cross 5 matrix, then in the first iteration, all the outer elements are printed, and we just have to print the inner 3 cross 3 matrix.
Okay.
So so it will be 1 plus what is required for 3 cross 3, so it is 2. So for 5 it's 3, for 3 it's 2, so it will be uh, n by 2 plus 1.
And again, that whatever variable is there, you have to increment it somewhere, right?
Yeah, I'm taking care of that here only. Like after, like let's say here the leftmost row will be printed. So now I'm incrementing y here. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, here I'll need to increment the this part as well. Right. Yeah, this thing is x. I don't need y. I'll just need once I left. No. So top, right, bottom. So here I think I went wrong. Here it should be bottom. No, here it should be left, top row. Okay, yeah, this should be bottom, and this should be left. Left plus equals 1, and this should be bottom minus 1. So these are the elements allowed, and yeah. So this one more is while yeah, so I'll need to change the y value after this. So I can just do y plus equals 1 and then repeat it. So let's try this for, so if it's 3, I'll need to do it twice. So for I in the range 2, I'll make it for n in just a minute. I'll just try with this one first.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. Yes, I think it's done. I guess. Let's say if it's 5, let's try with a 5 cross 5 matrix and equals 5. 1 plus value. So I'll just print it one by one for visualization purpose.
No, it's fine. You can print it as this. That's fine.
Okay, too many print
So
statements.
so there are many print statements. You can remove some
Yeah,
of them.
I'll just remove it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, the middle element is left. Okay, so I had to make it 3 and then I think it will go. Yeah, yeah. So I just need to find the formula for calculating this. So for phi
Should be
it's
n square n,
3.
if I'm right.
Sorry?
So you already have something, right? A variable, correct?
Yeah.
So just you can use the existing variable. No need to find any formula there actually.
Yeah, so I can just have it n by 2 plus 1.
Just
I'm sorry, I didn't get what did you say?
yeah, just take a pause, right? So you are printing all these
Yeah.
values. How are you printing it?
Yes.
Using what variable?
Uh, count. Okay, so you mean while count is less than n squared or something.
Correct.
Okay, okay, that's good. While yeah.
Cool. Sure. Yeah. So let's try with one more value with 0.
Okay. So I think we'll get it because initially we prepared it for a non-negative. So yeah.
Yeah, that's so 0 is like it's fine. I was just trying to say just
Yeah, yeah. So
so
what
that
is
is
the expected return value? I think it went into a infinite loop because
so if it is
uh,
let's say that anything less than or equal to 0 comes, will just return back.
okay, okay. So if n is less than equals 0, return none.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll just return. I can I return a blank list?
Sure, that sounds good.
Yeah. So okay, why is it? I think it's going. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You can leave that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not terminating here.
It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, it showed it's finished, and yeah, so I think it's
Yeah, that's fine. It's working fine. Yeah. So, Becca, you there? So you did the right solution. It worked fine.
yeah. Can we optimize it? I mean, the time complexity will have to be off and square, right? We can't optimize it in terms of time complexity.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if somehow we could generate these numbers like one by one,
But
like just
we,
iterating like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then this.
but are we? Is it like you need to generate these numbers, right? Because yeah, the
Yeah,
problem says that it has to print those numbers, correct?
yeah.
So we can't do. At least I don't see like any more further optimization. One way like how I would have done this is like you used while loop, right?
Yes.
So something similar to that, but like I use a different for loop and then I used to check the conditions with help of some functions, right? So that it could have avoided some duplicate code. So that is one thing, but it's fine.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that.
Instead of like a while loop, also we can use just for loop in range x to the these limits or something. That also
Yes,
can be done.
correct, correct.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it won't improve the complexity. Just I think a better readability or yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
hi. So we'll move forward right now. Can you all hear me? Am I audible?
yeah, now you're
Yeah, okay. So, Gaurav, I need you to now sort of evaluate yourself. So, just tell us how you feel you performed in the interview about yourself.
Actually, I don't have much experience in interview, and that was the whole idea of getting this mock interview because my placement interview is starting from 1st December. So, and last time during my internship interviews, I did a bad interview with a big firm just because it was my first interview and I didn't have much confidence. So the whole idea of this interview was to build the confidence and all. So initially I got a bit anxious or something, but later, and even Aditya really helped me, like helped me whenever it was needed. So it helped build the confidence. So initially, I think I was doing a bit bad because I was anxious, but as the time progressed, and I think I was on the right track. But yeah.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. So, Aditya, you can give Gaurav your feedback now as an interview.
yeah. So Gaurav, you did really good. You told that you are coming from different background, but even then you knew what are the things, how to work around and how to navigate around the given problem. So
Okay.
definitely you did a good job there. So that's a
Okay.
plus point. So now coming to some of the real feedback which will help you, right? So
Yeah,
just ask
definitely. And
some
just
clarifying
be
questions.
honest, like even if
Yeah.
it's negative, yeah, yeah.
So whenever a question is provided, just ask some clarifying questions, right? So one thing so this n is equal to zero is like a typical edge case, right? What should we do when n is equal to zero, right? You could have
Yeah.
asked me this question in the beginning, correct?
Okay.
That
Yeah.
is one feedback. You clarify the things beforehand. So you
Okay.
explained the problem, you understood the problem, you explained to me, and you also explained to me the solution, how you are trying to navigate it, right? So those
Yes.
things well, you communicated it well. But like once you
Okay.
started coding, right? You were
Yeah.
trying to print some debugging statements and then trying to see if you have reached it or not. So that gives some sense of what the interviewer will feel is whether do you really know what you're doing it or not, correct? So
Okay.
try to avoid that. It will come by practice. Even I used
Okay.
to do sometimes like that, but with enough
Okay.
practice, you will avoid that unnecessary printing debug statements and all. And
Okay.
sometimes in interview, if you are printing too much, um, you might be confused what print statement is what, correct? That is one
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And
it happened. Yeah,
few
yeah.
companies usually, like, I have seen that they even consider how many times you're running this run button. That is also will be
Okay,
considered. So try to run it once mentally. Once you're done with coding, you feel everything is
okay,
fine, then you can run it, but try to finish the code first. Correct.
okay,
There
okay.
could be some edge cases which you need to figure it out, but don't just get lost there. So in this problem you are able to achieve it within that given time, right? So if there is a little more complicated problem, or if you need more time, you'll be stuck there.
Yeah,
So try to
yes.
that comes with practice. That's one feedback I have for you.
Okay, okay, okay. And like, what is the ideal way to practice this stuff? Like, when I'm on my own.
So best way is like you did the same thing, right? You took some examples and you started
Yeah.
printing them, right? So that would be the better way. But in some complicated cases, like if you have some graph traversal or PFS, DFS, or with backtracking,
Okay.
you need to practice them. Then you need to get your mind around it, right?
Yeah.
Simple debug statements will not help there.
Yes. Yes. That's true. That's true. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Sure, sure.
So yeah. Uh, yeah.
Thank you.
So just and how was like when I was writing the code, like I tried walking through what I have written. So how was it? Like, do I need to improve there as well?
So one thing, and the one more, like, yeah, the variables, right? When you started writing the code for the first time, you use the
Yes.
right variable names like left and right. They were more meaningful. And
Yes.
even now, if you look at from line 25 to 31, right, you don't need six variables. All you need is just four variables. Correct. Maybe let me yeah, correct. So you'll you'll require the beginning of the row and end of the row, correct? Then
Yeah, I
you'll be
mean, if I
required.
change my approach to using for loops, then I won't require X and Y, right? But if I use while loops, then I will need these variables, right? Or no?
I think yeah, I think you need it, but just try to use some meaningful name instead of X and Y,
Okay, okay, okay,
so that
okay.
it's more
Definitely.
intuitive. Like the person who is like interviewing will, even if they just glance it out, they'll come to know what you're trying to do, right? So
Okay, okay,
that's one more feedback I can say, but like it's
okay,
not like a major one that could lose some points.
okay, okay. Thanks. Yeah. And so rest while walking through this thing. So was it fine, or do I need to explain more or something?
It's up to you. I have seen people who will just code everything and then they will do the dry run. uh, that is also fine, but sometimes I usually try to uh, as and when I write, I try to explain, and that's something which you are also doing, which is good, I feel. That
Okay.
will actually, that it's more like an interaction, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
that is good
exactly.
actually.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it from my side. Gaurav. You did good one, so kudos to that.
Yeah, okay. I'll try practicing also on my own because I just have 1 month left, and yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that the whole idea of this was, like when I'm on my own, I'm able to solve this very fast. But when I have to, giving interview and all, I just get a bit nervous, and so that's why here also it took me around 40 minutes, I think, to come up with the solution. So how much time is expected to like for a simple problem like this? What time is expected from the candidate to solve it?
um I think so, like based on what I have been seeing, um, typically like first few minutes you'll try to get some understanding of the problem, couple of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, like
Yeah.
3 to 5 minutes. get all the things clarified, correct, and then like
Yes.
next 15-20 minutes you'll write the code, and then another like 5-10 minutes you will take some dry run or take some examples and run. So maybe 30-35 minutes or 35 to 40 minutes overall.
Okay. 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 Then okay. Yeah. Yes. Then yeah. Thanks for clearing a lot of my doubts.
Yeah,
You know,
sure. All the best.
it was really helpful. Yeah.
Any feedback for me?
No, actually, like, and I don't have much experience, and also, I don't have, like, it was good, you really helped me when I was getting stuck, and also, yeah, it was really good.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks. So
Yes.
anything from audience?
Yeah, yeah. So anyone in the audience who wants to give feedback to either Aditya or Gaurav? Okay, in that case, I guess we could go ahead. And one feedback I would say, this thing, Gaurav, is that, I used to make this mistake before as well. When rating ourselves on a language, I guess we have to take into consideration every aspect of the language, whether it's the libraries and everything. So maybe
Okay.
not to rate yourself very high. I used to make the mistake myself, because I used to think I'm
Okay.
just thinking of it from a programming construct or logic construct, but they actually imply, libraries and stuff as well. And yeah, you were
Okay.
both
All the
really great.
object oriented and all.
So not
Yeah,
just object oriented, Garo. Like if you go with Python, especially, people are more interested in knowing async stuff, right? Async IO, and then there's also lot many libraries like what Beck was saying about NumPy, SciPy, right?
Yeah,
So
that I'm yeah, yeah, okay.
it's better you could, if you have a good number, if you say high number, you should justify it, and you should
Okay.
be willing to answer the next question like what will it make you to reach 10, correct?
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's that kind of question essentially. So just make sure you know what you're telling them.
Okay. 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 Okay, yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess we can bring this session to an end then. Thank you so much, Gaurav and Aditya. You all did really great. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Your feedback really helps me. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.